Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to Power Automate Desktop Training Tutorial. My name is Vishal Bamblani, and in our session today, we will continue to learn the variable actions provided by Power Automate Desktop. Variable actions that will be covered in this session are creating a new list, adding multiple items to it, removing items from the list, and finally clearing the list. Let's start with the first action, which is create a new list. Now, as the name suggests, it creates a new empty list for us. It has no properties rather than just giving this list a new name. Let's create a new list in Power Automate Desktop. Under Actions pane, search for Create New List. Drag and drop this action. Give this list a name. Let's say Sample List. Click on Save. Once we run this flow, it will create a new empty list for us under Flow Variables. As you can see, an empty list has been created. Let me close this. Now let's add two items to this list using Add Item to List action. So it appends a new item to a list. It has two properties. First is add item, wherein we have to specify the item value to be added onto this list. And second is into list, wherein we have to specify the list name to add new elements to. Let's make use of this action in Power Automate Desktop. Here, under Actions pane, search for add item to list. Drag and drop this action. So first is add item. Now let's add January into the list, sample list. Select, click on save. Now let's add few more items. Let me copy all the actions. Here, let's add February. Here, March. And here, April. So we have added multiple items to this list. Let's run this flow. Once the flow execution completes, we check the flow variable section. The execution is complete. Let me open the flow variables list. Now, as you can see, there are four items added to the list: January, February, March, and April. Now let's remove one item from this list using remove item from list action. Now it removes one or multiple items from a list. It has a few properties like remove item by, which specifies whether to remove the item at a specified index or the item with a specific value. If we select index here, it gives us a property like at index, wherein we have to specify the index number of that item. If we, if we select which value, then we have to specify the value which we need to remove. Another property is remove all item occurrences, wherein it will remove all the occurrences that match the item specified. And finally, the from list, wherein we have to specify the list name from which we have to remove the items. Let's make use of this action in Power Automate Desktop. Under Actions pane, search for remove item and drag and drop this action. Now let's go with value, wherein let's select the value as March. Remove all occurrences. If we want to remove all the occurrences of March, then we can enable this option. And from list, let's select the sample list. Click on select and save. Let's run this flow. Once it completes, we'll check the sample list from flow variables. Let me open this. Now, as you can see, it contains just three items, which is January, February, and April. March is no longer there. Let's close it. Until now, we have created a new list wherein we have added multiple items to it and even removed one item from it. But this time, let's see how to clear the list, which means how to empty the list completely by using clear list. So it basically helps us to remove all the items from a list, and it has just one property, which is list to clear, wherein we have to specify the list variable from which we have to remove its elements. Let's clear the list in Power Automate Desktop. So here, under Action Screen, search for clear list, drag and drop this action, and let's select our sample list, select and save it. Now, until now, we have 3 items to it. First is January, second February, and third April. Now let's run the flow and see if this action clears our list for us. Okay, so execution is complete. Let me open this list. And as you can see, there are no items in this list. This means everything is clear. So this marks the end of our module. Thank you so much for watching this video. I would request you all to subscribe my channel for more videos. Also, I have listed down some suggested videos as well as the ones next in line for your ease. Cheers.